Hello everyone, this is Fahim bin Amin. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the variables in Java programming language. So first of all, let me talk about string variable. So let's say I'm going to declare a string variable. So for that reason, I need to follow the structure, and the structure is like that. We have two things to do. First of all, we need to declare the variable, and then we have to initialize the variable. And the declaration structure is like this. First of all, we have to specify the data type. In this case, that is a string, and then I need to provide the variable name. Let's say I'm gonna name it string name. This is the declaration part. All right, we call it variable declaration. And if we want to initialize this variable with a value, we have to do that like this. Like for this string, I can use name equals Fahim. Here what I did, I simply initialized the value, because in line number 3 I have simply specified or declared the variable name with the data type. That name is a variable and the variable is a string type, but I haven't specified any value to it. But in line number 4 I have specified the first value in it, and therefore we call it variable initialization with value. All right, now let's say I want to print these variables, so I can simply use a normal print statement, and I can simply give the variable name like this. Now if I simply run this, then you see I'm getting the exact output. Cool. All right, now this is a method of declaring the variable and initializing the variable in different lines. All right, but normally we use the declaration and initialization in a single line. How we do that? Let me show you this. Now for example, I'm gonna declare another string variable. Let's say I'm gonna name it string another name equals, I'm giving the name right here like Rahat, and then let's say I wanna simply print this variable, so I can simply do that. It's working, you can see it, right? So here what I did, I simply used the variable declaration and initialization in a single line. I didn't use two different lines like earlier. We normally used to follow this procedure. All right, so this is the string. Let me write it down here, string. And then we can talk about integer. Integer is a numerical value but without any fractional value. I mean, we don't use the radix point or fraction value in integer data type. The process is exactly the same like earlier, but in any kind of numerical value we don't use any double quotation or single quotation like earlier. All right, so let's say I'm gonna name it integer number, and I'm simply gonna initialize the value in the single line, because this is the better method as I have just told you. Let's say integer number 58. Now if I simply print the variable's value, you see I'm getting the output, right? Now as I have told you that in integer we don't use any fractional number, so the question might come into your mind that what we would do if we want to work with fractional value. Well, we have float for that. Let's say I'm gonna declare a float number. Let's say I'm gonna name it fractional value equal to, let's say, 58.98. all right, let me simply check it. Oops, I have forgotten that we don't use float, we use double here in Java. All right, so let's say like this, it's working, right? So I can simply print this like earlier. Now if I simply run this, you see that I'm getting the value. All right, so there goes my double data types. Now let's say I'm gonna work with character, not a string character. Character means individual single letter or entity like that, right? So let's say I'm gonna declare a character. In that case, I need to uh, use the data type, that is char, short form of character. But you can't write character like this because this is not considered as the data type. Char is considered as the data type for character. So let's say character later the variable name, and I'm gonna name it a small m. Keep in mind that whenever you are working on with character, you have to use single quote. You can't use double quote. Double quote is only for string, all right? And also you can't mix the quotation, like you can't use single quote and double quote, or double quote or the single quote. You have to use the same type of quotation in a single data type, right? So let's say now I'm simply gonna print this later. Then what I'm getting n as we wanted, right? Now we can talk about boolean data type. All right, we declared the boolean data type as boolean and we give the name. Let's say I'm gonna name it boolean value, and we can assign true or false. All right, now if I simply run this, sorry, the variable's name, you see I'm getting the output, right? Now you can also initialize with, oops, no. So boolean data types value can be either true or false, not otherwise. All right, but there are many different types of data types as well, but I'm not gonna make this video any more longer, because whenever we would feel the necessity of using those, I would make sure to let you know what are those and how to use them. Thank you, and I will see you in another video.